there's got to be a creator. I'm here on an Alaskan tour, and I just heard the greatest speech by David Kupelian, and I want you to meet him. He wrote the book, The Market of Evil, and what's the other book?
How Evil Works.
Yes, and I think he basically summarized the problem in our country. There's a war between good and evil. Ephesians 6:12. There's a spiritual war going on. What can we do about it? I learned something from his speech. I did not know about the stem cell research thing. Would you explain to us the two different kinds and the Rick Perry thing?
Well, I was explaining the kind of the perversity of the news media, in that there's embryonic stem cell research and there's adult stem cell therapy. And most people, when they hear stem cells, they think embryonic stem cell research. Okay, but the fact is, after 13 years, there are no working embryonic stem cell therapies. All that happens is they inject stem cells into somebody's brain, and then it turns into a tumor, and it ends up killing the person because those embryonic stem cells are too different from the adult cells, and they don't take well. Meanwhile, there is adult stem cell therapy where they take, this does not involve killing a human embryo. They take it from the human fat or the skin or a cord, embryonic cord, the umbilical cord, different parts of the body, and there are fantastic therapies that work right now. And I use the example of Rick Perry, who recently had a stem cell therapy for his back from stem cells from his own body. He didn't kill any babies or anything, and he did that. But the media, what they said was, stem cell critic receives stem cells, and not making the distinction that it was a critic of embryonic stem cell therapy, because he doesn't want to kill little human embryos, receives cells from his own body. So who cares? What's wrong with that? But the point is that the media, and the point I was making in my talk, Vicki, is that the media don't tell you anything about adult stem cell therapy. It doesn't serve their purpose, but they still extol, they still praise embryonic stem cell therapy, which hasn't done any good yet, because it creates the impression that there's something redeeming and wonderful about killing little, beautiful, innocent human babies.
You called it irrational infatuation with embryonic stem cells.
Yeah, it's an irrational infatuation because they want to create something that's redemptive and beautiful about abortion, because abortion is so ugly. 50 million babies in the last, since 1973, and Roe versus Wade, and so they have to make something that's beautiful and good and humanitarian, scientific, and progress about it, because they have to perfume the stench of abortion.
Oh, that's well said. Now, the other thing you mentioned that no one tells us in the media, sorry, this is my cinematography, is that the lady in Roe versus Wade has spent her life fighting to repeal that. Could you explain that, and what's her name again?
Yeah, well, Norma McCorvey, and her name during the trial was Jane Roe, okay, but she was the plaintiff there, and the case that bear her name won, and that's what made abortion legal in all 50 states. But she came to the light later on and realized that abortion was wrong, and she has been working her entire life ever since then, this is since 1973, to put the genie back in the bottle and to make abortion illegal. And there are many people, including Bernard Nathanson, who died recently, who was the co-founder of NARAL, one of the top abortion vanguard people in the country, who spent the rest of his life trying to make abortion illegal. And my book, in fact, The Marketing of Evil, I have interviews with 8 different abortion doctors and nurses, all of whom had a radical epiphany. They had a spiritual experience where they woke up and they realized these are human babies and we can't kill them, and all of them have spent the rest of their life trying to end the evil of abortion.